Way too many of my fellow federal employees miss this opportunity within their thrift savings plan. I'm taking advantage of it so that I can meet my retirement countdown end date. And all of you that are federal employees should as well. So, if you're a federal employee, you're well aware of what the thrift savings plan is, or at least I hope you're aware of it. It's basically the federal government's version of a 401k or 403b. Our employer sponsored retirement plan. For new federal employees, everyone is automatically enrolled. Of course, you can adjust your automatic deduction after you're automatically enrolled, but coming on, you're automatically enrolled at 5%. They throw that right into one of the life cycle funds, and there you go. They leave it alone at that. You need to take hold of your thrift savings plan and of your investment options, as well as your contribution options, and control where those contributions are going. One of the biggest benefits, and I put secret on the thumbnail for this video. It's not really a secret. It's just not talked about very much, and I don't think it's explained very well in the new employee orientations or throughout your federal employment. And that is the TSP has a Roth option. If you're familiar with what a Roth IRA is outside of the TSP, it's an after tax savings bucket, if you will, or savings account where you can make contributions up to $6,500. I believe it's $7,500 if you're over 50. But within the TSP, if you choose the Roth option, the contribution limit is much, much, much higher. You can go to $23,500 in 2024. If you're over 50, you get an additional amount in catch-up contributions above and beyond that. All of that post-tax. And the way a Roth account works, you're putting your money in post-tax, then it grows tax-free, and any withdrawal you take after 59 and a half later on, tax-free. So let me repeat that. Private Roth IRA, very small contribution limits. Roth TSP, you can max out to right at $30,000 depending on your age, but no matter what your age is, you can go to 23.5 per year. So if you're a young federal employee and have the ability to jump into that Roth TSP contribution rather than the traditional TSP contribution, we'll talk about that in a second, but you got to do it. I mean, what sounds better than a tax-free retirement, tax-free withdrawals at retirement? I don't think any of us believe that, depending on what your retirement countdown number is, if it's 20 years from now, that you think taxes are going to be lower then than they are now. So if you're at the right pay grade, the right GS level where you don't need to mitigate taxes now, let's say GS 11 and under, I'm just spitballing. That just depends on your marital status, depends on your locality, things like that. But if you're making under the 12% tax bracket or under, if you're married filing jointly, then the Roth TSP, you're going to be thankful you made Roth contributions on down the road. Now, the way that works, you still can get the federal employee match or the employer match, even if you contribute to Roth, but the match goes into the traditional account. So if you choose the Roth option and you max it out, let's say you're fortunate enough to be able to max it out, they're still going to match 5% dollar for dollar. That's going to go over in your traditional. So you're still going to get a traditional balance building based on the match from the federal government. We'll go over to the TSP website for a minute. There's a tsp.gov breaks down the difference between the Roth and the traditional TSP. Here are your contribution limits for the TSP, and this is for Roth or traditional. It can be a combination of both. But if you max out on the Roth and you're over 50, you have the opportunity to put 23 plus 7,500, $30,500 in to your Roth TSP account over whatever amount of time you have left till your retirement countdown is up. All of that growth and your withdrawals are going to be tax-free. Here are the tax brackets for 2024. And you can see that 12% tax bracket. If you're in that 12% range, 23.2 to 94.3, married filing jointly, Roth is a great, great option. I'm not a financial advisor or financial planner or anything like that. I'm just a fellow federal employee. But if you can stay in that, if you're in that 12% range, and remember your federal health care benefit that you pay in, that comes off your taxable income. So you're going to stay below. That's going to knock some off what your taxable income is. If you're married filing jointly, you can stay in that 12% range. Load up that Roth TSP. Here's the rest of the U.S. pay scale. And you can see if you're an individual in the GS12 all the way up to step 4, if you're in that ballpark on the rest of the U.S. pay schedule, you're going to be in that 12% range. So really, really strongly consider, if it was me, which it is me, I would consider you also taking that Roth option and maxing out those Roth contributions as much as you can. If you can't hit the maximum contribution, go all Roth. Take the government's match, put that in your traditional, and every year that you get a step increase or you get a raise, bump that up 1% at a time, 2% at a time, whatever you can do. There you go, guys. The Roth option in the TSP is a superpower, a super weapon to get you on down the road toward your retirement date. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I always put my retirement countdown number up at the top. I've got about 10 years left if everything goes okay for me. If you have a number, if you have a date in mind that you'd like to retire, put that in the comments. I'd like to follow along with your journey as well. Maybe we can all kind of do this together. And if you're already retired, drop some knowledge for us in the comments as well. Hey, and as always, if you're not subscribed yet and you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Appreciate y'all watching.